Good morning, students. Good morning, all of you. So again, let's start with a question which always comes in our mind, that why we breathe very fast during running and doing some heavy exercise and all. Okay. Before that, again, you have to follow some appropriate behavior. You have to wear masks, follow physical distancing and maintaining high hand hygiene. Wear mask properly and stay at least 6 feet from others. Wash your hand frequently, always with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. And remember to not touch your face. Do not share your foods or drinks with others. Okay? So let's start with. Now that we have been talking about breathing, so let us talk about breathing during various activities. Now, when we perform different activities, we feel that our breathing rate changes. Sometimes it becomes very fast, sometimes it becomes very slow. So now we're going to analyze that how it going to changes depending upon our activity. Why do we breathe fast while running? Or while we're doing any kind of physical activity like jogging or physical exercise. So anything like this, when you do, we see that we tend to breathe very fast. So what happens is, because at that time our body needs more energy. Let's say you are sitting on a chair and you are reading a book, in one case. And in case 2, you have to run for a 5 kilometers. Okay, so in which of these two things do you need more energy? You tend to you tend to get tired more easily in which of this? Obviously in the second case, because in that you involve your whole body, and that's why your body needs energy. The energy demand in the second case increases. So during such activities, the energy demands of body increases. So when energy demand increases, you need more energy. You need to more oxidize your food more and more so that it produces more energy. And for that you need oxygen. So due to the more demand of energy, what happens is deficiency of oxygen inside your body. Deficiency of oxygen, because whatever amount of oxygen you are breathing in, maybe that around that energy, the energy that is needed by your body to perform such activity is not more. So your body needs more and more oxygen. However, this deficiency happens only temporary, because it happens only as long as you are performing all those activities. Okay, so what do we do in order to compensate that deficiency of oxygen? We tend to breathe faster, because we feel that if we breathe faster, we are actually breathing in more and more times in a minute. So we are taking more oxygen in our body. So in order to get more oxygen, in order to meet the energy demand of our body, we tend to breathe fast, and we are doing some physical activities, because breathing fast will help us to inhale more oxygen. So that is why we breathe fast during physical activities. Okay, so we got to know a lot of things about why do we breathe faster and all. Now we also know that when we just run, we have a except all these, do you know why do you feel hungry after doing some exercise? After doing a lot of physical exercise, you get tired, and after that you feel hungry. So why does that happen? So I'm sure by now you would have guessed, because when you are doing something so much exercise, so this exercise could be in any kind of physical activity. So when you do this physical activity, what happens? The energy demand of your body increases. So what happens? From where do you get this energy? This energy actually comes from the food which you have eaten. So while oxidation so when the energy demands is more, all the food get oxidized to meet this energy demand. Now, after you have used up all the food, there is no more food inside your body to get oxidized to produce energy. So when there is no food inside your body, what happens? You feel like eating more food. That is why you feel hungry. So when you do exercise, more energy is used and more food get oxidized to produce that energy, so that all the food get oxidized and you feel hungry. So that's the simple reason which will make feel hungry after doing a lot of activities. Few more interesting things related to our breathing. Have you noticed that we all yawn when we feel sleepy? Not only sleepy, when sometime when we get bored also, we yawn. So first of all, what is yawn and what do you do while yawning? So it is like you will open your mouth to breathe deeply. So while yawning, you are taking deep breath. So when you are taking deep breath, you are opening your mouth and that is called yawn. Okay. Now, if you actually try to go deep inside this, so why do we yawn? Now one of the theory that tell us that the reason behind the yawning is it is because of the circulatory system. When we yawn, it causes increase in the blood pressure. So when we yawn, there is an increase in the blood pressure. So if it is increases, our heart rate also increases. And when that increases, the blood circulation increases. Okay. And what happens then? Oxygen supply also increases. So this improves overall motor function. So it makes you more alert due to more supply of oxygen to your blood. So when you breathe so deeply, you are taking more oxygen in your body. So that extra oxygen will help you in better circulation of blood inside your body and help in the motor function of your body. So that is something which is behind your yawning. Another interesting things, we always sneeze. Okay. So what causes sneezes? So when germs, dust, pollen grains, all these unwanted particles get inside and irritate our nose lining. So when we breathe in, we have a lot of things like hairs, cilia, mucus, etc. to block the entries of this foreign particle. But these foreign particles can easily enter to our nasal cavity through the lining of nostrils. So if it reaches, it irritates the nasal lining. Okay? And the signal is sent to the brain to get rid of that foreign particles. So a signal is sent to the brain that okay, some outsider had entered into the lining of our nostril. So the brain will immediately send back a message said that we get to rid of this foreign particle. So what happened then? So as per the message which is sent by the brain, we take a deep breath and breathe out very strongly. So deep breath followed by strong breathe out. So we are actually breathing out very strongly during sneezing, so that all the dust particle or foreign particle which might get stuck in our linings of our nostrils, they all flow out. They all fly out of our nose. So the unwanted particles get out of our body through strong breathe out. Okay, so that is sneezing. Sneezing is basically to get rid of the foreign particles, and it is completely controlled by our brain. So based on whatever we have learned about the different about the respiratory system, so now we're going to talk about the respiration. We have been talking about the respiratory system in only in human being, but now respiration is a process which take place not only in human being but in all other organisms as well as the plants and animals both. Okay, so let us understand how respiration take place in different other organisms. So respiration is a process which is common to both plants as well as animals, but it happens in a different way, a little different way in case of plants. In animals, the basic concept remains same. For example, in human being, we have lungs, which like a primary organ for respiration, and there you have other respiratory organs like nostrils, cavity, nasal cavity, pharynx, etc. Similarly, in case of other animals, you might have different organs, but yes, more or less, the process of respiration will remain same. So respiration is a process common in both plant and animals. So let us look at the respiration in aquatic animals. So one example is your fishes. Fishes stay in your water, so they actually need in oxygen, and they breathe oxygen which is dissolved in water. So the water contain oxygen. Basically, they need to take in water, and they have to selectively choose oxygen from the water. So it has been observed that the rate of breathing of the aquatic is high in a terrestrial one, because terrestrial animal are those which live on land. For example, the human beings are terrestrial, and aquatic are those who live in water. So such animals, the rate of breathing is faster. So can you guess why the rate of breathing faster in aquatic animal? That is because the amount of oxygen which is present in the air, the percentage of oxygen in air is much more than the percentage of oxygen which is present in our water. So since because of very less amount of oxygen, you really need to breathe fast. Okay, so to get more and more number of times to get more energy, oxygen. So that is why aquatic animal have faster breathing rate. Now, what are the specialized organs they have for respiration? So, fishes have gills, which help in the absorption of oxygen. This is interesting and important as well. They do not have lungs, they like we human beings have. They have gills. So, what do these gills do? Why don't they have lungs? If you look at the structure of the lungs, it is only capable of taking in air. So, if oxygen is present in the air, the organism is taking air into their lungs, so the lungs are the good choice. But the fishes live in water. They do not breathe in air. They are taking in water. So they have a specialized organ called gills. So these gills are specialized organs. They are favorable. They are feathery organs. But they are very well connected to the blood vessels. They are full of blood vessels, and that is why the exchange of gases actually take place in the gills. Okay. On the other hand, when you look at the respiration in case of another terrestrial animal, for example, maybe elephant, giraffe, lion, tigers, even human beings also. So they breathe in air because they live on land, so they try to utilize oxygen which is present in the atmosphere, and the atmosphere contains around 21% of oxygen. So that oxygen is utilized by the terrestrial animals. Now there are huge variety of terrestrial animals, therefore it is like in human being we have sort of lungs or a specialized organ for respiratory system. But due to huge variety of terrestrial animals, so it is not necessary that all of them have lungs, but yes, they have a specialized organs for oxygen absorption which are present. In human being, the specialized organ is a lungs, but lot of animal, this respiration takes place through their body surfaces, which is also called the respiratory surface. If you take the example of frogs, so in the case of frogs, they have their body surface, their skin, they act as a respiratory surface. So gases exchange take place through the skin itself. So we cannot discuss about all the terrestrial animal, but we'll discuss some of them so to understand this concept. So when we talk about the respiration in terrestrial animals, the specialized organ, whichever organ it may be, whether it is the body surface or the lungs or it is the skin, whichever is the specialized organ for respiration, its main job is the absorption of oxygen. That is going to be one of the important job. The next job would be the exchange of gases, that is oxygen needs to be supplied to the blood vessels and carbon dioxide needs to be taken out from the blood vessels and that is expelled out of the body. Now in case of terrestrial animals, since they are going to take oxygen from the air which is present in the surrounding, therefore it is important that this specialized organ is in contact with the air of the surrounding. Okay. With the surrounding. So it is basically taking oxygen from the surrounding. So it all needs to be in contact with the air. So we'll take some example. When we take a unicellular organism like amoeba, so in these organisms there are no specific respiratory organ. So how do you think that the respiration will take place? So in these organisms, the respiration will take place through their body surface. They are absorbing oxygen from the air and giving out carbon dioxide. In case of insects, like they have a system of tube that is called air tubes. So system of air tubes inside their body, and that help in the exchange of airs, and that is called a tracheal system, that is derived from the trachea. So insect, you have this tracheal system for respiration. If you talk about amphibians like frogs, so here they have lungs. Like frog, they have lungs. They do have lungs like we human being have, but at the same time they have their skin also act as a respiratory surface because their skin also help in the exchange of gases. So lungs and skin both together help in the respiration cases of amphibians. So amphibians are those which can live both in land and in water. Okay. And finally human being, and for human being we have lungs, which I already discussed. So we'll discuss how the respiration take place in earthworm. Earthworm, you all know, it is something which is commonly seen in soil. Maybe you will go to your garden, you might will see the reddish brown terrestrial invertebrate. Why invertebrate? Because they don't have a backbone. They do not stand like we do. So these are like organism. So we'll discuss the respiration in earthworm, how respiration take place in them in the next part. Okay. Thank you, students.